Hello everybody, what is going on? This is Marcus and we are back with another episode of Marcus on Top. We will still be using the team that Yuri used to win the most recent European Regional in Innsbruck. And yeah, what else can I say? I climbed up over the 1800s with some serious teams when I was doing some testing. I'm not saying that Yuri's team is not a serious team, obviously it is, it won a regional, but I don't know, like when I'm using my own teams, then I don't know, I can just play better and I know what I want to do in specific situations. And with this kind of team, for example, right now I'm facing an opponent from Japan in the 1770 somethings, and I don't know what to do against Ludicolo. Though probably Thunderous and Talonflame can be just nice there. By the way, if you're watching this, and I'm not sure when this is going up, but you should definitely check out the official Pokémon Twitch channel, because link will be in the description, because today there will be a stream going on from the St. Louis Regionals. I'm very excited to watch that after recording this. Also, the ECC European Challenge Cup, I think, in Arnhem is going on, which is the first event in Europe, the first regional event in Europe that has the battle software in place, so kind of exciting day for Pokemon, and yeah, that also made me feel like doing something on YouTube today. So I want to lead with Thunderous because it's just, in general, good against this team, I think. I want to have Groudon in the back, I believe. Scizor could do some help, but we also lack some important moves. I think actually Yveltal could be kind of nice, but that would mean that we are without a Talonflame. I think that's just how it will be. I do want Yveltal here to threaten the Mewtwo, for example, and to snarl the Kyogre. And I do think both Kangaskhan and Thunderous are more important than Talonflame, though I can definitely see a case for picking Talonflame in this matchup. But let's just see how it goes. So, yeah, in case you didn't see the previous videos, and this is the first video I'm doing with Yuri's team, check out the blog post he made on Nugget Bridge about it, where he explains all the EVs, all the movesets and so on, and how he won the regional, basically. So my opponent is leading off with Mawile and Thundurus against our Thundurus and Yveltal. So Intimidate doesn't do anything for him, so that is just fine, but we don't really have too much damage potential against his Mawile. I could just straight up go for the Thunderbolt, but then what do we do with Yveltal? He could just go for a play rough into our Yveltal. And actually I think I just want to go for the Thunderbolt on his Mawile and protect my Yveltal. I could see him go for a protect with Mawile, but yeah, let's see. If he does that, then next turn we probably have to switch out Yveltal into our Groudon, which is a little bit annoying because generally you want to keep your Groudon in the back against Kyogre. I can't stress that enough. But so we go for the protect right there. And he goes for the Thunder Wave. That is okay, but I'm guessing his Mawile will probably attack my Thundurus then. Thunderbolt does a decent amount of damage, and yep, play rough going into the Thundurus. But thanks to the Focus Sash, we will be able to survive right there. So that is kind of neat already. He could go for the Sucker Punch right now, but if he did that, that would mean that our Yveltal would be unattacked for another turn and could stick around. So the question I need to answer myself is whether I want to keep Thundurus around to spread some para against what he might have in the back. And I am expecting something like either Kyogre and Ludicolo or Kyogre and Mewtwo to be in the back. So we could switch Yveltal into our Groudon, for example, and then just protect with Thundurus. I think that's actually what I want to do. Because if he stays in with both, then next turn we can just Earth Power the Mawile and Thunderbolt the Thundurus, and his Thundurus shouldn't have like a move to really hit our Groudon, and his Mawile also shouldn't have a move to really hit our Groudon. So Groudon's position right there is pretty good. The only problem is, of course, that he can just switch into his Kyogre to cancel out our Sun, and then we don't have any switches into Water-type attacks. So let's just hope that he stayed in with both Mons. And then I would be happy. But okay, so he stayed in, which is fine. Another play I could have made was just go for the Thunder Wave on his Mawile, but I didn't want to risk his Thundurus attacking into my Thundurus. But let's see, we do see the Thunderbolt, and yeah, he actually went for the Thunderbolt into our Thundurus. So he protected with Mawile right now, and that is good to know, because now that means that he will probably not protect right now. So he will either go for the Sucker Punch on Thundurus or switch out into Kyogre most likely. So we will definitely Earth Power the Mawile slot, I think, but then what does our Thundurus want to do? I could go for the T-Wave to dodge a potential Sucker Punch. And I think that's actually what I want to do. And then just Earth Power the Mawile. Maybe he switches Thundurus into Kyogre. But he withdraws Mawile. Okay, so that is good. Yeah, that should be Kyogre coming out here. So, Earth Power will deal a little bit of damage, and Thunder Wave, yeah, thanks to Prankster, we will at least get off this last attack. I could have gone for the Thunderbolt as well, but if he went for the Sucker Punch, and yeah, if he thought that Mawile wasn't worth keeping around, then he could have just sacked that, but he, yeah, felt like he wanted to have it and to keep it. Which makes sense, since you probably expect me to have Kangaskhan as my last one, which is, yeah, in fact true. So Thunderbolt will knock out our Thundurus, and his Thundurus actually outspeeds our Groudon as well, which is good to know. So Earth Power doing a nice chunk of damage and actually getting this special defense drop. However, I don't think that is going to help us too much, because I think we will probably rely on our Kangaskhan to knock out that Kyogre. If you go in Kangaskhan though, he can just protect his Kyogre, probably. And things get a little bit difficult. Yeah, this is tough. I think if we keep Groudon alive and we can KO his Kyogre, then we just win the game. But what is more important, having Yveltal in the back or Kangaskhan? I think I want to bring out Kangaskhan just so that I can threaten Double Edge to take out his Kangaskhan. To take out his Kyogre. And so he's more forced into protecting with Kyogre. Because had I sent in Yveltal, then he could have just protected Kyogre and went for like Thunder Wave or Thunderbolt into our Yveltal. And if we didn't make the right read there, then we could have been in a lot of trouble. But right now I can kinda safely go for the Double Edge into his Kyogre. But yeah, it's also like the obvious play for him to just protect Kyogre and Thunder Wave Kangaskhan. But even then, next turn we should still be faster. And I don't want to go for a Fake Out right here or anything, because Double Edge should be enough to knock him out. He already Mega Evolved his Mawile, so there is no Intimidate that could prevent us from getting the KO. And yeah, we just want to get off as much damage as possible in case he switches. Which is also a possibility. And he actually withdraws Kyogre right there, so there is that switch. That's probably Mawile coming in. Yep. So yeah, but he already Mega Evolved, so no Intimidate, and we should be able to deal a little bit of damage at least to bring him into like KO range for any other attack basically. Yeah, he just goes for the Thunder Wave, so yeah. Fake Out on the Thundurus was a play that I could have made, but I do think as long as we don't get fully paralyzed, which we don't get, we are still in a nice position right here. So yeah, Double Edge doing quite a bit of damage, and right now I can go for Double Edge on his Thundurus, I think, and yeah, we don't have a priority attack on our Yveltal, but that actually doesn't matter too much. No, yeah, like it kind of does, because if he protects Mawile right now and Thunder Waves our Yveltal, then next turn he can like Sucker Punch or Kangaskhan for a good chunk of damage. But I think we will go for Snarl and Double Edge on his Thundurus anyway. If he goes for the Sucker Punch, yeah, he might just knock out our Kangaskhan though. Yeah, I don't know, it's like a 50-50 kind of thing. But he protects with Mawile, okay, good. So, that means we will be able to knock out his Thundurus, but not before he gets off another T-Wave, this time on our Yveltal. Yeah, maybe predicting him to go for that play and protecting with Yveltal would have been the play. But we actually do get fully paralyzed here as well, so let's hope that this Thundurus does not have Citrus. And okay, it's Focus Sash, so Double Edge will be enough to take it out. But we already saw that his Thundurus outsped our Groudon, so I guess it was more reasonable to expect him to be Focus Sash. Whew, this game is getting pretty close. So he sends out his Mewtwo right now. Okay, so finally his last one is revealed, and now it comes down to what does his Mawile do, I think. Like, does Sucker Punch, like he could go for the Sucker Punch on our Kangaskhan, or he could go for, let's say, the Play Rough on the Yveltal. So I do think, just for safety reasons, I have to Sucker Punch his Mawile. Or I could also Sucker Punch his Mewtwo though. If I Sucker Punch here, he doesn't know that we don't have Sucker Punch on our Yveltal. If we Sucker Punch this and then also Snarl, that should give us the best options, right? I could have also made plays. Oh, he actually doesn't go for the Sucker Punch. I could have made a play and switch out Yveltal to get rid of Dark Aura, because then his Mawile Sucker Punch would not KO us anymore. And maybe he was predicting something like that. But he actually goes for the Skill Swap right here. Okay, so he predicted the Sucker Punch on the Mewtwo. Skill Swap coming out from the Mewtwo. That is definitely an interesting choice. And now we're down against a Parental Bond Mewtwo. Wow. So let's hope Snarl goes off here. And yeah, we do connect with the Snarl. Nice. So that should deal a lot of damage. Actually just picking up the one-hit KO. Thanks to it being a single target move and super effective, Life Orb, Dark Aura, everything comes together. And I don't know, it's just really funny because back in like last year or the year before, Snarl was only known as the move that gets like a little bit of chip damage, you can taunt it, and that lowers the special attack by one stage. But yeah, with Yveltal, Snarl is actually pretty powerful. So our Kangaskhan is not Parental Bond anymore, but I don't think it matters too much. We do have Groudon in the back, and he's paralyzed as well, so we can just go for Dark Pulse and Double Edge, and even if we like double free paralyze and he KOs us, we have Groudon in the back, and that takes this first game. So really close win there. I think it definitely came down to some, I don't know, like predictions whether his Mawile would go for the Sucker Punch, and I think it was definitely reasonable for him to go for the Play Rough there. And yeah, though maybe yeah, it's really hard to tell, because if he KO'd my Kangaskhan, then my Groudon and his Kyogre come in at the same time, and then like his Groudon was his Kyogre was paralyzed, and that would mean that his Weather ability would activate over mine, and then he probably would have just won. But yeah, it comes down to stuff like that, and that was a pretty close game. Skill Swap Mewtwo, definitely interesting. Well, that's a way to dodge Sucker Punch and also give your Mewtwo some more firepower. So I think we probably would have lost if we like Sucker Punched the Mewtwo. But now we're actually up pretty high, 18-30, and our next opponent, once again, a similar rating to the previous one. And once again, an unorthodox restricted Mon here in Lugia, and once again a Ludicolo. So I didn't really pick up the trend with that Ludicolo, but I'm sure there's something behind that. Also Greninja making an appearance, so wow, two really interesting teams being featured here in this episode. And two pretty strong players as well, like, I mean, 1770 is nothing to joke about. So once again, I do believe that Yveltal definitely has to come here to deal with that Lugia and Kyogre and everything. But Greninja is definitely threatening too. Scissor could actually make a good job, but we do not have Bug Bite or anything, so we can't actually hit that Ludicolo, which is kinda annoying. But I mean, yeah, having Iron Head is definitely a useful tool to deal with Xerneas. Talonflame could make for a nice lead here. Something like Talonflame, Yveltal, or we could just go with the same thing we did in the previous game and go with Thundurus and Yveltal lead. Yeah, I like that. I actually like that quite a bit. But Talonflame is even better here in this matchup, so maybe we want to go with Kangaskhan, Yveltal, and have Talonflame Yeah, it's really tough. Everything makes sense here in this matchup. But Talonflame is so good. I think we're going with Kangaskhan over Talonflame. But Talonflame would have been really nice. I don't know. Okay, so you could either go for the Talonflame and try to like revenge kill everything in the back, or we could also just have led with it and went for the Tailwind, because my opponent, like, his speed control is basically having fast mons and having like Ludicolo and Swift Swim in the rain. So yeah, he doesn't actually have like a hard way of speed control, and so Tailwind could have helped us. Also, Brave Bird could have helped us anyway against the Ludicolo especially. But looks like my opponent leads off with Kangaskhan and Scizor right there. So maybe he's not looking to go with Ludicolo in this game after all. Also no Greninja, so that is actually like really pleasant to see, even though my lead matchup is not exactly the best. But seeing Kangaskhan and Scizor, which is also something that we could do with our team, means that he doesn't have like the Greninja in the, as a lead, he doesn't have like, I don't know, the Lugia, which we don't know what it could do. And so yeah, I'm just fine with that, to be honest. So I kind of don't want to give him a free turn here and to set up a potential sword dance, even though we do have foul play, so that could actually really help us. But I just want to do something here, and even if he goes for the fake out, I want to get off like either the Thunder Wave or the foul play. And let's see, maybe he targets down the Thunderous, not expecting us to have, or expecting us not to have Protect anyway. But okay, he actually goes after the Yveltal, which is fair. So we will get off that Thunder Wave, and yeah, let's see what that Scizor does. So it's always really risky to protect just one mon and attack with the other, because you really have to, like, I don't know, make the right choice, or else it can be really problematic. So he just goes for the knockoff straight onto the Thunderous, knocks off our Focus Sash, but that really doesn't matter too much. However, we didn't really gain a lot of information about the Scizor set. Though, okay, knockoff probably means that he does not have Sword Dance, he didn't reveal a Life Orb or anything, so maybe it is safe to expect him to be Assault Vest, I guess. So we could just see the Sucker Punch or Bullet Punch on the Thunderous to take it out. And the question is, do we want to risk that? I actually kind of feel like we have to. And I will go for Dark Pulse and T-Bolt on the Kangaskhan. Okay, so no priority move coming out, so we will be able to take out this Kangaskhan, which is definitely nice. And then let's see what his Scizor goes for. Maybe he wants to take out the Thunderous, maybe he was predicting us to go for like the Thunder Wave on him, expecting the Sucker Punch coming out, but okay, he goes for another knockoff onto the Thunderous to knock it out. Okay, perfect. I don't think that could have been choice banned though from the damage. Now on the second thought. Not really sure how much knockoff would do, but we are like non-bulky Thunderous. This is just max speed, max special attack. So I don't really think knockoff would only do like 70%, but 70% is also pretty much, like, it's a lot of damage. And we did not see the Life Orb, so maybe he's actually choice banned. I didn't consider that at first. Maybe he's choice banned. Wow. I don't really know the damage calcs for Scizor too much with knockoff, I'm sorry. But knockoff is, okay, knockoff is like 100 base power, or like 97.5. So yeah, maybe he's choice banned. But that would mean that we're now in a pretty good position, because we can just, because he will likely switch out Scizor. But what if he's not choice banned? Wow, I really don't know the calc, I'm sorry. Because we could fake out the Kyogre and switch into Groudon, and we would be in a really good position. Or I could also just fake out the Scizor and switch into Groudon anyway? Nah, that doesn't sound too good. Okay, we can fake out the Kyogre and... oh no. And just Dark Pulse the Scizor. Okay, he stays in here, okay. So maybe he's not choice banned after all. Maybe he just goes for like a superpower if he's Assault Vest. I guess we'll figure out now. So he actually protects with Kyogre. Maybe we could have read that. Also, switch in Groudon would have been a really viable play for us. But I was close to timeouting, so I didn't want to risk that. Dark Pulse does so much though, so he's not Assault Vest. And he goes for the Bug Bite, okay, so he's not choice banned. But we actually hang in there with our Yveltal, and I think that is pretty optimal. Because now that still gives us one Mon to switch around, and we should be able to KO his Scissor right now with Sucker Punch, I think. And also, while also switching in our Groudon to take a potential, or to take any attack from his Kyogre. And then we still have the Yveltal. Even if he switches out his Kyogre, we can still maneuver around and get up the sun eventually. So, yeah, I think we go for the Sucker Punch. He probably has Feint though. So he could go for the Feint, and that has a higher priority than Sucker Punch, but yeah, that doesn't do any damage. So worst case here is like Feint Ice Beam or something like that. But let's see what will happen. Yeah, once again, I don't know, really interesting game with that Scissor. I definitely need to learn the damage clocks. But Yveltal also, props to him, because he survived that Bug Bite, which was definitely nice. Okay, so his Ludicolo is his last one, and Sucker Punch goes off first. Okay, so that is what I was talking about, because right now he will get in the position where he will have his weather up, but he's down to only 2 Mons, and now we have the option to switch out our Kyogre into Yveltal. I'm pretty sure he will know about that though. So it's really tough. But I don't think... yeah, he will probably just go for the Fake Out on our Kangaskhan and KO us with his Kyogre. But since we don't have Protect or anything on our Kangaskhan, there's nothing we can really do about it. Switching out Kangaskhan and Protecting, does that help us? I don't think so. Because he will, like, keep the rain. So yeah, maybe we lost after all, because I do think that Grass Knot and Ice Beam and so on should be enough to beat Groudon in 2v1. And we shouldn't be able to get off any more damage right here. So maybe I could have just switched out Yveltal, like, when he had out his Kyogre, like, the first time. Where I was, like, close to timing out. Yeah, he just goes for the Water Spout, and that will knock us out. And then we will have our weather up, but I'm not sure if it will be enough to take this game. Since, yeah, our Groudon is totally offensive, and he should have, like... he's probably Life Orb on Ludicolo. Or no, he's not. He didn't take any Life Orb damage from the Fake Out. But, yeah, even then, yeah, maybe that is actually Assault Vest. But, yeah, we shouldn't be able to KO his Kyogre with Groudon before he, like, attacks us with multiple... Ice Beams. So I will go for the Eruption anyway. We should be faster than both here, and yep, we are. But maybe with the critical hit or something, we could do something, but nope. Yeah, he has the Grass Knot, so that should do a good amount of damage. Wow, that actually does so much. And then with the Ice Beam combined, that can actually just knock out our Groudon right there. Actually hanging in there with 1 HP, so we will get the joy to KOing his Ludicolo. But that will be about it. So yeah, good game to my opponent. In the end, I definitely think that I could have maneuvered around a little bit better. When we had Kangaskhan and Yveltal in, I do think the turn he protected Kyogre, I probably should have capitalized on the position a little bit more and switched in Groudon while I think I faked out the Kyogre. Yeah, I could have faked out the Scissor there, for example, and switched in Groudon, because then there was nothing he could do against the next turn, Eruption and Double Edge. So I think that was definitely the turn where I lost this game. But still, 2 pretty interesting games. Definitely glad with how we were able to play against them. But yeah, I don't know, could have played better in the second game, I believe. Also in the first game, in some places. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. If you liked what you saw, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to my channel as well. Once again, make sure to also check out the official Pokemon Twitch. Once again, I'll leave it in the description because there will be the stream of the St. Louis Regional today. And yeah, have a great day. See you soon.